Hello and welcome to Holy Dragon's Lair. I'm starting a YouTube thing. I've been on Twitch for a while, but there are some games that I just want to play without concentrating on chat. There are some games where I just want to chat. But this is Ian Livingstone's Deathtrap Dungeon, and I'm very excited about playing it. I don't know if any of you used to play the fighting fantasy books when you were younger, or even recently, where you would adventure through the books and choose your own path and maybe fight with goblins or get poisoned and die horribly. I've played that, and then recently I've played an advanced fighting fantasy RPG game based off these, including Deathtrap Dungeon. So I'm very excited about this video game. It's kind of like a cross between the books and the 80s, 90s games that you used to get with a video to put in the video player. Games like Nightmare, which I also used to have as a kid. And when you start it up, because this is an early release, like a pre-release game, when you start it up, it starts playing right away, but we can replay the intro and listen to it. There are no subtitles, unfortunately. There's no settings. It's very early at the moment, but I'm still very excited.
Despite its name, Fang was an ordinary small town in a northern province of Chiang Mai, situated on the banks of a river. It made a convenient stopover for river traders and passengers throughout most of the year. A few barges, rafts, and sometimes even a large sailboat could usually be found moored at Fang. But all that was long ago, before the creation of the Trial of Champions. Now, once a year, the river is crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition and see a victor in the Trial of Champions.
All right, so tell me more about it.
On the 1st of May, each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great. A purse of 10,000 gold pieces and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever. But to become champion is no easy task. Some years ago, a powerful baron of Fang called Sukhumvit decided to bring attention to his town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there was only one exit. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters. Sukhumvit had designed it in meticulous detail, so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he was finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of his finest guards, and fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. The tale of the ill-fated guards soon spread throughout the land, and it was then that Sukhumvit announced the first Trial of Champions. Messengers and news sheets carried his challenge, 10,000 gold pieces and freedom of Chiang Mai forever to any person surviving the perils of the labyrinth of Fang. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk, as it later became known. Not one reappeared. As the years passed and the Trial of Champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and spectators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each May. The town would be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired, and entries registered from hopeful individuals intent on making the walk. The last week of April found the people of Fang and its visitors in wild celebration. Everybody sang, danced, and laughed until the day broke on the 1st of May, when the town thronged to the gates of the labyrinth to watch the first challenger of the year step forward to face the trial of champions. Having seen one of Circumvit's challenges nailed to a tree, you decide that this year you will attempt the walk. For the last 5 years, you have been attracted to it not for the rewards, but for the simple fact that nobody has ever yet emerged victorious from the labyrinth. You intend to make this the year in which a champion is crowned. Gathering up a few belongings, you set off immediately. 2 days' walk takes you west to the coast, where you enter the cursed port, Black Sand. Wasting no time in that city of thieves, you buy your passage on a small boat sailing north to where the river Coke meets the sea, and from there you raft upriver for 4 days, until finally you arrive in Fang. The trial begins in 3 days' time, and the town is in an almost hysterical mood of excitement. You register your entry with the officials and are given a violet scarf to tie around your arm, informing everyone of your status. For 3 days, you enjoy Fang's greatest hospitality and are treated like a demigod. During the long merriment, you almost forget your purpose in Fang, but the evening before the trial, the magnitude of the task ahead begins to dominate your thoughts. Later, you are taken to a special guest house and are shown your room. There is a splendid 4-poster bed with satin sheets to help you rest, but there is little time left for sleep. Just before dawn, a trumpet call awakens you from vivid dreams of flaming pits and giant black spiders. Minutes later, there is a knock on your door, and a man's voice rings out saying, "Your challenge begins soon. Please be ready to leave in 10 minutes. You climb out of bed, walk over to the window and open the shutters. Already people are thronging the streets, moving quietly through the morning mist. Spectators, no doubt on their way to the labyrinth, hoping to find good vantage points from which to watch the competitors. Walking over to a wooden table on which your trusty sword and shield lie, you pick them up and cut the air with a mighty sweep, wondering which beasts your sword's sharp edge may soon have to meet. You open the door into the corridor, and a small man greets you with a low bow as you emerge from your bedroom. "Please follow me," he says. He turns to his left and walks quickly towards the stairs at the end of the corridor. Walking through a parting in the crowds, you see Baron Circumvit himself, standing by the entrance waiting to greet the contender in the trial of champions. You count 5 others standing proudly in line, their violet scarves displayed for all to see. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. A sleek elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting the crossbelt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the 2 remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron plate armor, with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swarms of his black-faced scars. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face the exultant crowd for the last time. Suddenly, a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Circumvit steps forward, holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw one from his outstretched hand, and you read the word, 5th. Then the trial begins. The night is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel, and is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes a barbarian, and then the dark assassin. Next, it's your turn. But before embarking on your adventure, we must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, here we go.
You have in your possession a sword, a shield, and a backpack for carrying provisions for the trip.
Okay.
You have been preparing for your quest by training yourself in swordplay and exercising vigorously. To see how effective your preparations have been, dice will be rolled to determine your skill, stamina, and luck scores. Or, if you wish to begin your adventure immediately, you can choose between
give me the dice.
ready-made adventurers.
Right, so, I was not expecting 10 minutes of intro when I asked for more info. Cool thing. Nice cuts for the dramatic tension and variation. This is really fun, having this narrated to you. And it's really reminded me of playing our RPG. It was very different an RPG. We'd visited, the City of Thieves, and we'd killed the warlock of Firetop Mountain, and I'd stolen his cat, and adopted it as my own, and named it Zagar after him. All this fun stuff. And then we got a messenger saying that in the town of Fang, there's this Deathtrap Dungeon that the Baron there, he says he's going to give out a big cash prize, but he never does, and his brother wants to shame him by having somebody actually win the competition. So we were being hired to go in there and try and win the whole competition, and there was a big cash prize of, I think it was 30,000 gold in for us, because there were like 4 of us, I think. And yeah, the 3 groups of 4 went in, I think, and we had to be the only ones to come out, and we were allowed to attack each other on the way. So that's how our Dungeon Master incorporated that adventure into our game. Let me roll. This could be a disaster.
First, we'll roll for your initial level of skill. This reflects your sword skill and fighting expertise, and will be determined by rolling 1 die and adding 6.
1d6 plus 6. Does that count as my roll? Okay. I mean, I rolled a 5, so... Oh, you can re-roll. How many re-rolls do I get?
Next, we'll roll for your initial stamina,
I feel like
which
it's cheating.
represents your strength. So the higher your stamina score, the longer you will survive. This will be determined by rolling 2 dice and adding 12.
Wow, 2d6 plus 12? Oh, you must be kidding. Well, I mean, I'm not going to re-roll double 6s. What the hell?
Next, we'll roll for your initial luck, which represents how lucky an adventurer you are.
Oh,
Luck and magic are facts of life in the fantasy world you're about to explore. This is determined by rolling 1 die and adding 6.
Not too bad. I thought Lady Luck would screw me over like she doesn't when I play Dicey Dungeons. But she didn't, so that's nice.
You may also take a magical potion with you
Can I have some gold?
to aid you on your quest.
What do I have to
Each
win?
bottle of potion contains 2 measures, so can be used twice during an adventure.
What? OP potions?
You can choose from a potion of skill that restores your skill points to their initial amount, a potion of strength that restores your stamina points to their initial amount, or a potion of fortune that not only restores your luck points to their initial amount, but will also increase your initial luck score by 1 each time
That's
it's
insane.
used.
Why would you choose anything but the luck?
Lastly, before you begin your quest, you are given enough provisions for 10 meals.
Yum.
When you eat a meal, your stamina score will increase by 4 points. But don't forget, your stamina can never exceed the initial amounts you've just set. You have a long way to go, so use your provisions wisely. Now it is your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take one final deep breath of cool, fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway into circumvit's corridors of power to face unknown perils in the
Got nothing on my backpack.
through the mighty barrens, Deathtrap Dungeon.
Spooky. Wow, now we get the intro. It's fucking badass. Ian! You can't see me, but I am rocking out to this intro.
The clamour of the excited spectators gradually fades behind you as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof at 20-metre intervals, radiating just enough soft light for you to see your way. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders and beetles crawling up and down the chiseled walls disappear quickly into cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats and mice scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist, and dank. After walking slowly along the tunnel for about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table standing against the wall to your left. On it, there are 6 boxes, one of which has your name painted on its lid.
I mean, this is Deathtrap Dungeon. So, I would assume that it's a death trap. It's interesting to see how different this is to the adventure that our GM set up for us. In that we were told that to get out of the dungeon, we needed an unspecified amount of an unspecified item that we needed to collect. And our method for doing the dungeon was to do a complete clean sweep of it and to listen to every door before we went in and to check all of the corridors for secret passages and not leave a stone unturned. But you can't do that in these choice books. Now I want to click on some of this stuff. Weapon, sword, shield. Okay. Items, nothing. So what's this? Jewels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe we do collect jewels to get out of the dungeon. There's a little map. There's a save point. Interesting. And then all this stuff that we know about that we just got given. And a hiccup just for free. I think... I mean, you're probably yelling at me right now. I don't trust anything.
After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes more, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one wall points west. On the floor, you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It's hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them followed the direction of the arrow, while one decided to go east.
Oh, does this update now? Yes, look at that. I'm gonna go east.
Ahead, you can see a large obstruction on the tunnel floor. Although it is too dark to make out exactly what it is, the wet, eastbound footprints you have been following carry on towards the obstruction. You see that the obstruction is a large, brown, boulder-like object. You touch it with your hand
Boulder-like.
and are surprised to find that it is soft and spongy.
slice it open with my sword.
Your sword easily pierces the thin outer casing of the giant spore ball. A thick brown cloud of spores bursts out of the ball and envelops you. Some of the spores stick to your skin and start to itch terribly.
Oh no.
You lose 2 stamina points as great lumps come up on your face and arms, and your skin feels as if it is on fire. Frantically scratching your itching lumps, you step over the now deflated spore ball.
My lovely itching lumps.
Pressing on east, you turn left, which heads north for as far as you can see. The footprints you are following start to peter out as the tunnel becomes gradually drier. Soon you are beyond the dripping roof and the pools on the floor. You notice the air becoming hotter, and you find yourself panting even though you are walking quite slowly. In a small recess on the left-hand wall, you see a section of bamboo standing on its end. Lifting it down, you see it is filled with a clear liquid. Your throat is painfully dry, and you feel a little dizzy from the heat in the tunnel.
Drink the liquid.
The water in the bamboo pipe is welcomely refreshing and adds 1 stamina point.
Ha!
It also contains a magical solution which will enable you to be exposed to melting point temperatures without harm. Discarding the bamboo, you start off north again, in good spirits. You find
Where's my
yourself
stamina
dripping
point?
with sweat as the temperature continues to rise. As you struggle on, the heat intensifies until it becomes so unbearable that you feel yourself begin to pass out.
But I have
Although
the
the
liquid.
temperature in the tunnel is higher than you could normally tolerate, the liquid from the bamboo pipe keeps you alive, and mercifully, after a few moments, the temperature drops rapidly and soon feels almost cool again. On the left-hand side of the tunnel is a closed door. It has a small iron plate in it, which looks like it might slide open.
Okay. Sure, let's check the door.
The small plate slides open easily, and you find yourself peering into a room with a deep pit in the floor behind the door. On the opposite wall, there is a coil of rope hanging on one of 2 iron hooks.
I guess we'll take some risks.
The door swings open into the room, and you step back and jump over the pit. You put the rope in your
Come
backpack
on, make me roll.
and jump back over the pit to leave the room
But,
and head north.
okay.
Ahead, you see that the tunnel turns sharply to the left. You turn a corner and almost bump straight into 2 fierce-looking orcs, armed with morning stars and wearing leather armor. You are totally unprepared for them and struggle to ready your weapons.
Oh no.
During your adventure, you'll enter into combat a number of times, and the further you go,
This is a little intimate.
the tougher your opponents will be.
I'm
Combat
very
takes
afraid.
place over several rounds, and your attack strength is based on yours and your enemy's skill scores. For each round of battle, we'll roll 2 dice for you and 2 for your opponent, adding the results to your skill scores. These are your respective attack strengths. Whoever's attack strength is the highest wins that round of combat. If you both had the same attack strength in a round, then it will be a tie. In some battles, you can take an opportunity to escape. But beware. If you do run away, your opponent will automatically score 1 hit on you as you flee, costing you 2 stamina points.
So be sure you have enough. Such is the price of cowardice. You are playing
Not a big price right now.
using the traditional battle system from the original Deathtrap Dungeon book. At the start of each round, you'll have a short time to decide to fight or to build up your stamina by eating your provisions or taking a potion, if you have one. After each battle round, you'll be able to test your luck. By using luck in battles, you can either score a more serious wound on your opponent or minimize the effects of a wound scored on you. If you test your luck after you have just wounded your opponent, we'll roll 2 dice, and if the total is the same or less than your current luck score, you will have been lucky and will take an extra 2 points from your opponent's stamina. But if the roll is greater, then the damage to your opponent will be halved. If your opponent has just inflicted a 2 stamina wound on you, a lucky roll will halve that damage, but an unlucky roll will take an additional stamina point. One last thing. Testing your luck has a cost. Each time you test your luck score will be reduced by 1 point. The orcs roar. And as you draw your sword, one of them swings its morning star at you,
The art
which
again,
sinks
yes.
agonizingly into your left thigh,
Hey,
costing you 3 stamina.
3?
You stagger backwards,
How
but
dare.
manage to regain your balance in time to defend yourself. Fortunately, the tunnel is too narrow for both orcs to attack you at once, so you fight them, one at a time.
Oh, how convenient. Okay, well, they don't have as much skill as me. Excuse me. You made me attack the orc. I didn't even click.
The orc is strong but slow, and you're able to strike hard with your sword.
Right. Just keep attacking. There's no runaway option either.
Your shield
I don't know
protects
if I
you
would-
from the orc's frenzied attack, while you're able to hack at its leg.
I don't know if I would, Oh, I see. There's a timer. If I would get 2 attacks, one from each orc if I ran away or not.
You raise your sword to parry the attack, and are able to kick the orc hard in the stomach.
Kicked his butt or his belly.
The first orc slumps lifeless to the floor.
Can I roar the
You
second one?
turn your attention to the other.
Come on. Come and have a go. Oh, he's slightly tougher.
You parry,
And I rolled like
but your
poop.
enemy is strong, and you crack your head
Rigged.
on the floor as it knocks you to the ground.
Come on.
The orc is strong,
Rigged.
slow, and you're able to strike hard with your sword. Your shield protects you from
Yes.
the orc's frenzied attack, while you're able to hack at its leg.
Inside one of the orc's pockets, you find 1 gold piece and a hollow wooden tube. You put your findings in your backpack and set off west. As you walk along, droplets of water again start falling from the tunnel ceiling. Heading west, you see wet footprints made by the same boots that you followed earlier. They lead to a closed iron door in the right-hand wall of the tunnel, but do not seem to go any further.
That seems like a place where I shouldn't follow. Although there might be some important item in there. And of course it's taunting me in the way that this game does. Well. But we've hit the 30-minute mark, so that means I'm going to end the episode on this conundrum. What are we going to do? Are we going to keep going west? Are we going to open the iron door and immediately die? Find out next week. Thank you for joining me. I'm Holly Dragon. I'll be here on YouTube with the rest of this series. I'm also on twitch.tv/HollyDragon_. And maybe I'll see you there. Bye-bye. Thank you.